So today's video is a little bit out of the ordinary. You've noticed I've been moving out of Lego a lot lately. I've only made a couple, just one or two Godzilla videos. No, totally not many playlists and many videos, over 60 videos of them. But anyways, I thought it'll be fun if I took it up a notch and change it up from time to time. Before, I have actually done something similar to this where I got Nate and Darren to review Apex figures by Jack Pacific with me. That was pretty successful, but to invest money in all those Apex figures would just make me go absolutely bankrupt, especially with Lego and all the other things, and given I'm not a really big YouTuber, so I don't make the big bucks. I am making some bucks, but not the big bucks. So, to be brutally honest, financially I cannot keep up with that. So that's why this is like a once in a while thing where I just look at it, what this toy looks interesting. Let's take a look at it. I try to look at the more collectible toys, not necessarily like the ones that you truly buy for your kid to play with. That's mostly Lego, but you know, it's Lego. That's an exception. But in terms of other toys, I try to look at real expensive collector's items. So the other day, me and the boys, we were hanging out at a mall, and we came around and we came to EB Games, which is basically Canada's version of GameStop if you're American, and we came across this stock, and Nate, being a member of EB Games, had a, I believe, I forgot what they're called, but he had a discount. So to save myself money and shipping fee, Nate had to cop it for me, so I want to give a massive credit here to Nate, and of course I will pay him back, but he really pulled the big bucks here to get this video going, so he is really the reason why this video is happening, in fact. So let's look at this Legend series by Hasbro. That's right, this is made by Hasbro. So I'm actually a little bit semi-excited to get tucked into this. They also have many new figures. They have like a Thor. I remember they also had Black Panther and all that, but this was the one I wanted. Well, specifically Thanos, but I guess the Iron Man is welcome too. So let's look at the box before we tuck in. Very nice box. The Infinity Saga. That is a great logo, honestly. Like that, I can't get enough of that. Got the Endgame stuff on top, of course. Endgame up here. The Iron Man mark, I believe that's 50 for Roman numerals. I think that's the name of the armor. Marvel nerds, please correct me if I'm wrong. We have Thanos. Then we have the figures with all their different accessories and facial expressions on display. So you literally see everything you pay for here. That is good marketing. Legend series up here. Got a little warning. Makes sense. Hasbro logo 4+, surprisingly, but I don't think this is worth it. This is $90. I don't think you want to invest that much for your 4-year-old kid. So, just saying. Really cool artwork here on the side of all the other characters in the MCU. That is pretty sick. Same thing on this side actually, so nothing much changes there. Nothing at the bottom. Oh yeah, might as well show you. Here's the price. So this was the normal price, and because Nate was the member, this was the price he paid for. A $10 discount. Doesn't seem much, but actually $10 could mean quite a lot, so. Here's the back with that glorious Endgame poster, a description for Iron Man, as well as Thanos. So we have two different descriptions. So let's go for Iron Man's first. Iron Man steps into the battlefield against Thanos in the ultimate fight for the fate of the universe. Oh, that's it. The rest is all in different languages. Okay, didn't notice till now. Alright, where's Thanos? Thanos is a destructive force that will stop nothing to achieve his goals. That's Endgame Thanos, alright, but that's not the Thanos we get later, but yeah, alright, so that being said, that is pretty much it for the box. So let's tuck this baby open and take out these figures. Let's get right to it. Alright, after some time of opening this Forsaken setup, this took quite a while to open. Here we have the two figures, both Iron Man and Thanos, with a crap ton of accessories. So, getting the set, obviously, I've said in the beginning, my main goal was to get Thanos. The Iron Man was a great feature, but I want to focus on Thanos first because that's... Now, of course, this is MCU Thanos, and I believe this is Thanos at his best. A lot of comic book fans are gonna be like, it looks nothing like the comic books. Well, grow up. This is supposed to be a more movie appropriate outfit, and I think the armor on Thanos makes so much more sense on here than what it does in the comics. I get the gesture of taking his armor off in Infinity War as a sign that he doesn't need it because of the Infinity Stones that made him so strong, but it's cool to see him in a full battle ready outfit, and this is exactly what it looks like. Now, I'm not a big fan of this headpiece, and that's because this headpiece, the camera will focus, there you go, this headpiece is supposed to be the scene of him getting dusted away after Tony snaps his fingers. So this is supposed to create that motion. You can see there's some dust particles on his armor. Fortunately, I kind of wish that was not the case and just had the armor fully fresh golden gunmetal. I think that would definitely make the... I mean, I guess it adds to the battle damage, because I mean, he has fought in the battles. He hasn't like sat back and watched. He's actually participated in the battles. So there's that. I'm not quite sure if there's a Infinity War Thanos out there of this figure, like a armorless Thanos. If there is, let me know, because I didn't really do a lot of research. Kind of just came across this in EB Games, so yeah, there is that. I do wish, okay, because he does have the wrist armor, but he doesn't have it on here, and unfortunately don't have another option for you to swap it out because the joints on his elbows are actually locked. You cannot move the elbows, so you can only move his arm, his whole arm as a whole. Oh, that looks funny. It looks like he's pointing at someone. So you are stuck with the Stark Gauntlet, no matter what. That's fine, because the Stark Gauntlet is actually on a ball joint, which you can articulate. So here is him. This is the pose of him about to snap the gauntlet, but of course there are no Infinity Stones in it. So there's that, but then you can swap it out for a closed fist one with the Infinity Stones in it. So let me just let the camera focus so I can show you this piece. Here you go. That's what it looks like. As bright as the daylight. And then here's the one we have equipped on him already. So, of course, to simply swap it, just gotta pull that, put this one in. There you go. Now this really looks like Thanos is just going for a punch, but I guess that's fine. You know, actually doesn't look like he's pointing. I'm gonna keep that on actually, because it will be cool to see the stones within the fingers. Now, same thing goes with the head. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of this headpiece. Even though I get the representation of it, I just don't like it. I prefer the other ones that are included in here. And we got, I'm not quite sure what the difference is. We've got these two, which are also I guess the facial expression. So here we've got, this one looks like he's more come on camera, there we go. This one looks more battle or more focused, more concentrated look. And then this one this one looks more goofier. This one he's smiling, giving a smirk. Okay, this one actually, yeah. One looks goofy, one looks more concentrated. I'm not gonna put these ones on because I want to put the helmet one on, of course. Oh yeah, now this is how I remember Thanos. A warrior, a true fighter. Look at that, with the helmet on, ready to battle the Avengers. And overall, his helmet just looks absolutely awesome. Oh my god, Josh Brolin did an amazing job. So, that being said, I need to figure out how to take the head off. Oh, there we go, just like that. So it's on one ball socket. Oh, it's just placed like this. Okay, so you just, yeah, here's what it looks like. Oh yeah, now that looks way more like it. That looks like a battle-ready Thanos. So perfect. So as you can see with the articulation, you can move his neck up and down. So he can be looking down at a hero, or looking up. If you like Captain Marvel or Falcon is something that's flying at him, you can look up. Fortunately, that will mean I will expose a little bit of the hollowness in the gap in the neck. Sorry. So that means I suggest you just try to keep it tucked as close as possible like this. So you can not see it. But I think the way this figure is designed, he is naturally just sticking out like that. So there's that. So yeah, articulation wise, you can move the arms not all the way, just up to here where his shoulder is, and then of course you can move it now, so you can go for a jog if you like. You can move his waist, so you can hear the ratchet sounds. So if you really want to be a super buff, intimidating villain, can just tilt his back all the way like this. You can have the straightest back mankind has ever known, just like that. So you can properly square up with a hero or something, or have him look all the way down at a defeated villain or a defeated hero or something, and be like, ha ha ha. Yeah. So there's that. So, other articulation, legs, of course, knees, very important. The knees here are actually on, there's 2 points of joints going on for the knees, so that is great. And of course, you kind of can move the feet, the ankles out, and I will say he's got some mighty strong boots here. They look massive. I mean, he is a massive being, but yeah, looks great. Honestly, like the different textures and the different molds of plastics being used to create this figure is done exceptionally well. And I think Hasbro has actually really stepped their notch here. Remember, this figure is about 45 bucks. So I was expecting quality, and quality did deliver, but I do feel like it could have a little more. It wasn't the best, especially with the fact that you cannot move the elbows, which kind of is disappointing, because then again, this is 45 bucks, so I'm kind of expecting the highest points of everything, from colors to textures to mold to, the overall articulation and the playability of this figure. So it's good, but it's not perfect. And I do wish there could have been more been made to this Thanos figure to make it perfect. I do, however, like I said, I like the different faces that are included for this figure, although I am probably going to stick with this one with the helmet on. And of course, I almost forgot, but I ain't gonna forget now, his double-bladed sword, which is insanely overpowered, as you can see. And this comes as one whole piece. And to give the full endgame Thanos look, let's put the sword on his arm, or in his hand, sorry, not. Okay, after some more time of struggling, finally got the sword in, which now I can show you the different articulation points you can do with his other arms. So, of course, you can move it up and down like this, but unfortunately, it's not too secure, as the fact that it's kind of gripped like this, and this is really only the most secure point. So, unfortunately, it's not going to be the greatest, but if you want to recreate the scenes, of him blocking Iron Man's mega beam by spinning the sword, you can kind of recreate it. But other than that, it's just loosely attached in, and I think that's just it served its purpose. The sword itself looks quite good, though, I will say. Looking at it from the side, it looks quite good. Look at this. This is going to be pretty nice. Putting this on display in a pose, maybe like something like this, maybe. I don't know, keep the blade like that. Kind of looks like he's, just grasping onto the sword on the side, and then he's got his gauntlet with the Infinity Stones. I don't know. That's honestly, the playability is all up to your imagination. Now, this is something I've noticed. I guess this adds to the battle damage. He has shoulder pads here, but no shoulder pads on this arm, so I guess, it might have been chipped off in battle or something. I guess that complements diversity. Here's what it looks like on the back. You can see just the amount of detailing that went in with the textures, especially with the armor and all that. So overall, like I said, this figure is good, but it's not perfect. I believe there are many ways this figure could be improved a lot. I will say the biggest complaint now for me for this figure is definitely the sword placement, how you can put the sword in. I kind of wish that was designed a little bit better. But then again, it's overall a pretty solid figure. Now, with Thanos out of the way, let's look at the other figure in this set. That is, of course, Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. So, of course, Tony is a much skinnier model, much skinnier person compared to Thanos. Overall, same thing as Thanos. I'm gonna say this figure is good, but it has some flaws. For example, it cannot stand up on its own. This was something I already noticed when I first took this figure out of the plastic, is that this cannot stay up on its own. Look at this. You cannot stand him up properly without the chance of him falling over just like this. So that's already a problem. See, and remember, this isn't a $40 figure, given the fact that this is like a $90 set. So yeah, so I'm a little bit disappointed in that, but I will say the printing of the colors are very nice on him. You got the gold, got the red. This is his ultimate. This is his final suit that he'll ever wear for his ultimate death. So the articulation, you can see as I'm moving his arms. See, you can move his elbows. Thank God, unlike Thanos, which you can't. That way, I guess you can recreate, Tony with the stones in his hand, about to perform the snap. So there's that. You can move, of course, the head, which can be swapped, which I will. I guess this is like his bloody battle damaged look. What else? Oh yes, you can definitely move his waist side to side like this. I guess if you can, I will show you when you swap out him for other stuff, then you can definitely add to it. What else? Legs. You can kind of do the splits. Knee articulation. See, this is one thing I really appreciate both of these figures for, is the knee articulation, as well as the feet, which cannot be moved too much, but at least it has the basics covered, and I think that's solid enough. And that's pretty much it for articulation. Now, like I said, because it's a $40 figure, I was kind of expecting more. But the fact that Tony here has more articulation than Thanos is kind of good enough. So what are the other accessories included for this figure? Well, oh my God, I cannot stand this guy up. Really cannot. I cannot. So I have to lay him down. Okay, so he has another Tony Stark face. This one is not battle damage, as you can see. This is just your good old classic Robert Downey Jr. look. So there's that. So he's not battle damaged, so I kind of really don't see a need to swap this one out, but there you go. Non-battle damaged, normal look Tony Stark. And then this is the one I will put on, of course, is the actual Iron Man helmet, the actual suit Mark 50 helmet. So there's that. By the way, he does have a suit in the MCU called the Mark 45 armor, which he wore in Civil War. So every time, if you search up my channel, if you search up just Mark 45, there is a pretty high chance you're going to get the Mark 45 Iron Man suit. So now I'm actually covering Iron Man, so that's just increased the probability. So let me They pull him out just like that. Just hear it pop. That's it. Now let's put on his suit. There we go. Okay, it did not attach. Wasn't secured. Yeah, there we go. Now it is. Okay. So notice, I was worried. I was worried this might be a problem, but thank God it's not. The neck color, good. You don't see the skin. It is fully covered. Good. So this is the Iron Man we are looking for. Oh yeah. So now actually that looks pretty darn cool. So now what other things you can put onto Iron Man? Well, for one, he has this giant shield. This giant holographic shield, of course, which will protect him from stuff. Now, I'm not quite sure the proper way to attach it. I think it's like this. I think it makes more sense if it's like this. But there's a giant clip at the end here, and I guess the only way to attach it is just to slap it on his wrist or something, just like this. Yep. And that's it. That's the shield. Yeah. Okay. So that means other stuff, other things to be considered. You have, of course, his gauntlets that he shoots his uni beams out. Pew pew. These are individual pieces, but I pre-attached them to these hands here, which they're supposed to go onto. So I guess you can see what that looks like. So let me just take this one. Oh yeah, here's the Infinity Stone's hand. Infinity Stone mini hand-sized gauntlet of all the Infinity. So there's that about to perform the snap. So now let's take that one off. So now let's see what Iron Man looks like when he's blasting his uni beams, or maybe just simply when he's flying. So there you go. This could have been done in a much better pose, much better position than what I have, but this is good enough. At least you get the idea. So I guess when he's when he's flying, there you go. Yeah, this is the best I can do with him in flight mode. So that's all they can do. And honestly, they've done all they can. Now finally, the last two pairs of hands are just these simple closed up hands, which I will not attach, but of course it's important that I show you guys it. So there's that, just closed fists, just like that. And yeah, so with that being said, there's one more thing, of course, which is his sword right here. This is a very, very nice piece, gotta say. Like, this is a nice print. Just looking at this, holy crap, this one genuinely looks pretty sick. Okay, so I guess the last thing I'll do, which is to swap the hands back. So I'm put the sword on him so you can see what it looks like. Which one is it? So is it? I think it was this one. Yep, it's this one. So not quite sure how exactly it is attached. And there you go. This is what the sword attached looks like onto him when he's holding it. Now the shield, you can only put it on this arm because this arm is actually like the length of it is good enough for the clip to attach on. I've tried on this arm to make it look like he has a shield and sword, but doesn't look like that is allowed, given with the molds are actually different, surprisingly. So there's that. You can pick between the sword and the shield. I showed you what the shield looks like earlier, so here's what it looks like with the sword on. So honestly, not bad. These two figures aren't, of course, they're action figures, and I do feel like there could have been, given of how much I'm paying for these figures, that there could be more quality in these figures. But I think overall, like I said, they are good, but they could be a lot better, honestly. Like, if this is the type of quality coming from these figures, then I don't feel like it should be. I don't think it deserves to be in the $80 range, even if I got it for a discount, or Nate got it for a discount. But still, even with that price, I feel like you would expect something a little more higher quality. But overall, it's Hasbro. This is not SH Monster Arts, so it's the best it can be, and I think I'm going to give this overall set I'm just gonna say a 7 out of 10. The Thanos is really what I came here for, but the Iron Man is a pretty decent figure as well. So this is a good set, and I do think if enough people want to see me do more of this, then I'll consider getting the other ones like Thor, and maybe I'll just get the big three completed, Captain America and Thor, and then there you go, the big three. That's all I need. Or maybe you want me to see Infinity War Thanos. I don't know, but so far from my first impression from getting this is pretty solid. I think this one was pretty good. It had flaws, but it's decent. So yeah, so this is first time looking at the Legends series, Infinity Saga action figs from the MCU, and I think it was a pretty successful run. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Either works. I want to hear your opinions. And if you want to see more of this, you know, by giving me the likes and telling me in the comments, that's how I know. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, we'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.